Chapter 40, Episode 10, Part 3. I touched down somewhere in the city's business district. I remembered the last time I was in this area. A lot of the buildings took some heavy damage. None of these seemed to be the ones that Armadillo Argent Punch holes through. In the back of my mind, I wasn't sure if that was a good or a bad thing. On the one hand, if anything big happened, then we might not risk bringing buildings down. On the other hand, it would mean that more business owners would be paying for damages. Hopefully, the Corps won't have problems if something like that happens. It's not like I'm getting paid for any of this, so they won't be able to dock it. Like the time I fought Archon, the area was abandoned. Considering this was the middle of the day, I found it incredibly creepy. Not a single person was around. There weren't any sounds. I looked at the buildings around me, not seeing anyone even being a normal person and peeking out to see what was going on. I could feel tingles running up and down my spine. Which is why, when my phone started ringing again, I nearly jumped out of my skin. It took me a second to answer it, but only because some wind started blowing hard, constantly making the phone slip out of my hands. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hello? We dropped you a few meters away from Sonic Saurian's last known position, Kunoblade said. Look around and see if you can spot him. Stay out of sight, and don't engage unless he provokes you first. I nodded. Right. What do I do if I spot him? Don't engage. Keep an eye on him and find out what he's up to. Report him when you have something, and don't take any action unless you absolutely have to. Got it. Do the twins have a direction I need to start looking? We have names, you know. That was a techno, and he sounded a little offended when he answered. The fact that I could hear him as clearly as the colonel told me that either he yanked the phone away from Blaze or that was on speakerphone. Check your phone, added Mitty. We're sending his last known location to your phone's GPS function. Follow that and you should hopefully find Saurian before too long. Got it. With that, I hung up and activated my phone's GPS app. Sure enough, after a few seconds, I saw two blips on the app's map. One was me, obviously, which left the other one as Saurian. I started down the street, following the directions to a spot. As I walked, I couldn't help but notice that feeling in my spine growing. It wasn't natural for a district like this to just be empty. Maybe there was some kind of evacuation procedure I wasn't aware of. But then again, it wasn't like a whole lot of time passed between the first call and when I touched down. It was unnerving. I rounded the corner. The GPS telling me that he should have been nearby. I looked up, froze for a second, then ducked back around the corner. Sure enough, there he was. Sonic Saurian walked down the street, looking around at the buildings just like I had been. He didn't seem to be up to much, if you ignore the fact that he wasn't alone. A group of what looked like mechanoids surrounded him. They were humanoid in appearance from what I could see, marching in a very generic style. Their armor, which covered every inch of their bodies, was covered a deep blue, with different shades along the joints. The only difference in the coloring was their hands, which were a bright and clean white. It looked odd, and oddly familiar. I thought back to the time I spent sitting on the internet, doing all kinds of personal history research. If it weren't for the fact that there were accent lines that were the wrong color or in the wrong places, I would have thought they were based on an old X design. The only reason I thought them as mechanoids and not replicas was the fact that I couldn't see anything that looked like a personality to them. They acted very mechanical. Their march was stiff, their footsteps heavy across the ground. Other than their march, I could hear them make a single sound. If there was a replicas that looked super similar, like the twins, then there might have been something that separated one from another. Nothing like that seemed to exist, though. The group walked away from the building I was hiding behind. Saurian still scanning the area behind and around him. I pulled my phone out of my pants pocket, getting ready to make the call. I watched him for a couple of more seconds, watching him as closely as I could. He didn't seem to be doing anything out of place, so I decided not to call it in just yet. Besides, I didn't know how good the hearing of anyone in the group was, so I could argue that I didn't want to risk blowing my cover. Another thought came to me. Wouldn't this be considered investigating, since I'm not trying to stop them from doing whatever it was they were doing? I followed them once they got far enough, trying to keep outside as best I could. Despite the lack of people, there were a few cars I could use as cover, so I ducked behind them as we went. As I approached one particular car, I accidentally kicked a can of some kind that someone littered at some point when people were around. I ducked down as quick as I could, catching the sight of a couple mechanoids snapping around to face me. I waited for a few seconds, wondering if they'd caught me. I held my breath and tried to keep myself completely still. He must not have noticed me, because a couple of seconds passed without anything happening. I peeked out, proving myself right when the mechanics went back to the group. We walked for a few blocks. Well, Soren and the mechanics walked. I stalked behind them. Soren kept looking around like he wasn't sure what it was he was looking for. We kept going, with me hoping that I'd get an answer soon. Eventually, the group stopped in front of a certain building. Soren looked it up and down. "This is the one!" he shouted, almost sounding excited. "Time to rock and roll!" He whipped his tail around, arcs of electricity dancing across it. He took his tail in his claw, took a deep breath, and strummed. Thanks to Boog and her clan, when the sound of his attack hit my eardrums, I knew that it was due to the tonal modification he made that was effective for what he apparently wanted. The windows of the building scattered into millions of pieces, or shattered into millions of pieces, as well as the windows of several cars and other businesses around us. The sound hit me hard too, forcing me to cover my ears in pain while glass rained down on me. My ears rang for the longest time. Everything spun around me like I was dizzy, and I could feel my stomach flopping around. I had just enough of mind of my pain to fight down the urge to throw up. Otherwise, I would risk him or the mechanics knowing I was there. "Alright, you goons," Soren said. "Get in there and start grabbing what you can." The mechanics charged in, while my head stopped spinning. The first chance I got, I brought my phone to my head, my fingers instinctively dancing across the screen for a callback. "Colonel," I hissed in the phone. "Found Soren. He's taking business in the building here. We're going in." "Roger that. Good hunting." As soon as the call ended, I jumped out to the middle of the street. "Hey!" Soren and the mechanics that weren't already looting wherever they could all snapped their heads to me. "You have a license to play music out here?" Seriously? Was that the best I could come up with? I mean, really? A license? I may admit to know to work on my heroic one-liner some other time. As it was, Soren looked like he was trying to stare a hole into my head. Then he turned to his own head. "Who are you?" I had to fight to keep my expression from falling. Instincts wanted to kick in super hard, and I had to stop from stopping over in shock. I mean, really? Yeah, really. Right now, you only look like an idiot in the middle of the street. Okay, that was it. Fine, maybe I can jog your memory a bit. Hunter form, power up. Flashlight later, I was in full armor and ready to go. Soren looked me over. It was almost hard to tell, but I could just barely see his eyes narrow. "You!" "Me!" "Riverbots!" The mechanoids, now known as the Riverbots, all snapped up to us. "Drop what you've got, get rid of this hunter!" The Riverbots, if nothing else, were pretty snappy at following orders. I could hear heavy things hitting the ground before they started rushing me. I drew my C-plates, spinning in my hands before settling to a fight stance. The first two Riverbots to reach me hit the ground pretty quickly. Quick slashes to the knees and chests erupted in shouts of sparks. Three more came at me. One took a spinning kick to the head, while the other two took follow-up slashes. The Riverbots that I took down stayed down, which was a relief to me. Another group rushed at me, and suddenly I started to feel a bit overwhelmed. The difference between the fights you see on TV and the one I was in became clear. On TV, when someone's fighting off a group of enemies, you only see one or two attack at a time so that you can see them on screen at all times. In real life, fights don't work that way. If, say, 8 or 9 Weaver-bots are breathing down your neck at the same time and ready to rush you, they're gonna rush you. And unless you have a way to cut down the numbers in a hurry, you don't want 8 or 9 people rushing you. You can almost feel my arms swing on their own. I definitely felt each blade strike the body armor of the Riverbot it ran into. Shells of sparks and metal covered me as I cut down Reverbot after Reverbot. While I was fighting them off, a thought came to me in the back of my head. These really were just mechanoids. Whoever built them could have made them people. These things didn't even have faces. They acted. Fought me as well as they could, but they didn't make a sound. They weren't people. I started to feel sorry for them. They were just tools. After that thought, something else met the back of my head. I blacked out for a half second, which was enough for more Riverbots to join the battle. Whatever hit me sent me tumbling, giving the Riverbots a chance to get on edge on me. Blows started raining down on me from all directions. I was instantly glad about wearing armor for this. What would have been bone-breaking punches and kicks weren't quite that severe, but it still ached wherever they hit. As hard as the hits I took hurt, I managed to keep a hold of my swords. One hit, which I assumed was a kick, got me hard in the spine. I rolled with the hit, one of my hands bringing a blade around to slash at more legs. I popped out to my feet, slashing away at more. Just as I was getting ready to try and get momentum back on my side, A loud noise broke over the sound of fighting. I could feel a shockwave washing over me before the world around me erupted into flames. The explosions threw me several feet away. I started to get up, my head going for a third set of loops in one day. I'd probably have to get a doctor to check me soon. I was risking brain damage at this rate. Groaning in pain, I looked at where I was standing a minute ago. Several of the robots I was fighting off had been reduced to scrap, while others were badly damaged and barely moving. My head went back to Sorian, who had his energized tail in hand. He laughed wildly, obviously not caring about the mechanics he was using. Now that was a buzz! Great. Now he was punning at me. I'm really getting charged up now. Once I was stable, I brought my hands up, blades at the ready. Boy, if I had known Brickana was going to hire goons like you, I would have taken her down the last time I saw her and saved the world the trouble. What? Who's Brickana? This time, since my mask was up, I could let my reaction go. You don't know who hired you? Girl, sometimes I don't know my tooth from my tail. That was a great sign. Where was she finding these people? I didn't bother trying to say anything out of that. Instead, I opened the charge at him. Turned out that was a big mistake. He jumped out a few more notes. Tones busting areas between me and him. I never got hit directly, which was good for me because the blasts were all as strong as the one that scrapped most of his forces. Between the soreness of the scrap with the riverbots, the shockwaves from the explosions, and the heat from the fires, I was turning to yet another bag of pain. One less blast knocked me onto my back one more time. I hit the ground hard, and that was when the pain decided to catch up with me. Adrenaline had been pumping through me the entire fight, but for some reason it decided to fade from my system and everything started to hurt. I could barely move. My muscles ached. My skin burned. I could feel tears building in my eyes, blurring a world that started spinning around me again. All in all, I was getting into a bad spot again, and I was tired of being in these spots. I rode around again onto my front, blinking hard to get the tears out. I could see Sonic Sorian's feet as he slowly advanced on me. My ears rang, but I could still hear his cackling, even if it was muffled. Maybe you should think about career change. You're not very good at this whole Maverick hunting thing. Great. Now the freaking Mavericks are giving me grief. I'm new to this whole thing, still. Then again, as I brought my head up to look at him, I could feel the tears start rolling down my face. Aw, don't cry now. I promise I'll cure what ails ya. I let my head drop. This was it. This was the last time I would wear this armor. I was positive those tears were from the pain. I'm absolutely positive that they weren't from me realizing the situation I was in. I kept my eyes down, but I could hear Sorian getting closer and closer to me, laughing the whole way. Why did he feel the need to drag this out? Was this why Brickana hired him? Because he could be sadistic when he wanted to be. Goodbye, Zero. I'll be sure to charge extra for your armor. I scratched my face, ready for that final blow. Second passed and it never came. Instead, I heard a sound I never expected to hear. Hi-ya! I heard a loud pop and looked up to a shower of sparks. Sorian flew back for several feet, screaming as he flew. I looked around, trying to find a source of the cry. What I found surprised me. Standing surrounded by the flames led by Sorian's text was another person. Pink armor covered most of her, with only her joints exposed and a white spot across her chest. Around said joints was a black padding, and her hands were covered with white gauntlets. Her head was mostly covered by a matching pink helmet that only left the lower half of her face exposed. The part that covered her eyes had 3 circles that looked like camera lenses. The part of her face I could see had her lips curved up in a smile. Of all of that, though, the part of her that stood out the most was her bright, lengthy green hair. The way she stood almost seemed odd to me. She stood balanced on a ball of one foot, her other leg brought up as if she was getting ready to kick someone of something. Oh, sorry, she said. Were you two in the middle of something? I could come back later if you guys won't. Sorian scrambled to his feet, bringing his tail back to his hand. Who the heck are you? Oh, what are my manners? I'm sorry. I'm just the newest Maverick hunter to be assigned to New Arcadia. Name's Marino. Nice to meet you. I was pretty sure neither could see it, but a smile started to fill under my mask. Really passed over me. On the one hand, I was happy that I finally got help. Even if it was just one person, an extra set of hands makes the job significantly easier. Whatever. 100's good money. 2 is a fortune. River bots. Another wave of the mechanics jumped in out of thin air. Without another word, they charged on Marino. I could see her smile grow a bit as she looked at me. Take notes. This is how you fight a crowd. At that point, she ran to the riverbots, meeting them halfway. The fight was hard to follow, but I caught what I could. She jumped right into the crowd, slipping in midair and landing on one. While the others tried to knock her off, she swiped away the attacks with kicks of her own. She dropped down off it, dropping low and sweeping it off its feet. She stood up straight, blocking a few attacks from the reaper bots. She threw a few punches of her own, the attacks landing in place that would be too major damage to a person. Throats, noses, and chests took blows, though none of them seemed to do much to them. I started to think that she wasn't aware of what second she was fighting until she saw it spun in place. As she did, she reached behind her, drew a pair of energy blades, and struck a couple in their chests, drawing sparks and digging gashes into their armors. Whatever this was, she was good. She continued spinning, though this time she went in with a different attack. Marina threw her leg out, delivering a powerful kick. There was some Reborn range of the attack, though that didn't stop one from erupting from the chest. It was hard to see what happened to cause damage, though luckily she gave me a couple more chances to see for myself. She threw the kick 2 more times, but while the sparks covered my vision again, the third time I could see an angry wave leaving her foot. That explained that. "Hey!" she shouted at me. "You plan on staying down, or do you want to give me a hand here?" Oh, right. Being down on the ground so long gave me a chance to catch my breath and let some of the pain pass, so I got up as quick as I could to join the battle. As I charged in, I saw her do something I'd only seen once in my life. She ran toward a reaper bot, sliding down along the ground. When she ran to feed the reaper bot, she wrapped herself and it perched itself on his back. She wrapped one hand around the top of his head and the other around the jaw, and, with sharp and practiced motion, she snapped his head around. After landing from the attack, she spun around to another one and launched a high front kick at his jaw. She used the momentum of the kick to throw herself into a backflip and brought her other foot up for a second kick. I went through the motion of cutting a couple riverbots down. A fat realization hit me. I grinned on my mask. Oh, this was good. We cut through more of the mechanoids. I stabbed my seat blades to one, putting it in place. Marina ran up my back, using me to jump into my riverbot. She jumped off its shoulders, flipping several times in midair. With each revolution, a set of energy knives rained down, digging into the riverbots and sending showers of sparks in the air. Like I'd hoped, the fight went much easier with help, and before I knew it, all the riverbots were nothing but piles of scrap around us. Marina looked at me. Her smile never faded the whole time, but it grew when we shared looks. She couldn't see it, but I had a smile of my own. My injuries were completely forgotten the rest of the moment. I turned away from Marino, driving my smile. "Alright, Sorian, it's your turn to go down." "You gotta work on those one-liners, chick," Marino whispered to me. "Shut up." "How about you both shut up and just listen to these sick riffs?" Sorian started playing all kinds of notes. The two of us dove away. The explosion was going off where we were standing a moment ago. "Hey," Marino said, "do you think you'd buy me a minute?" I looked at her. "Why? What do you need a minute for?" "Just trust me." "Can you do it?" I nodded, throwing my seat blades in front of me and rushing to Sorian. He saw me coming a mile away, of course, and started riffing at me. Weird word, riffing. Sounds like something a lot worse than what it was. I dodged the blast as well as I could, but the force and heat from each shot still made a difference to me, and some of the attacks aggravated my injuries. I was able to get in on him, though, and started trying to hack away at him. For Muto's Reppler, whose design was based on ancient dinosaurs, Sorian was surprisingly nimble in close range. He dodged most of my swings, and the ones that connected barely glanced off of his armor. He swung his tail at me, tip catching me across the chest and cutting a gash through it. The strikes fled me hard onto my back. The air rushed out of my lungs, but I could feel my leg move on its own to kick one of Soren's. The kick made him trip, and his smaller than usual arms made it hard for him to catch himself. I flipped up onto my feet, lungs too straining. Apparently my helmet didn't think I needed to be able to breathe in order to fight, because I didn't mean to deliver a kick to his head. "Zero, I've got this," I heard a voice in my ear. This time I wasn't controlling my actions, so I brought my hand to my helmet. "Got what?" I managed to jump over a tail sweep. "A weak spot. Aim for the base of his tail. You cut off pretty much all of his offensive options." "Got it." "Yeah, right. Aim for the one part of his body that's moving more than anything else." "Wait, that's it. That tail of his is big and takes wide swings. If I paid close enough attention, I could track one of his swings." Sorian got himself back to his feet. His tail stretched out to his guitar form again. He jumped a note, faster than I was able to react to. The sound blast caught me square in the chest, but thankfully it didn't do much damage. I slipped back a couple of feet, far enough for him to try another tail attack. It turned out to be a big mistake on his part. I was able to dodge roll over the attack, using the momentum of the move to take a swing at his tail place. The seed blade made a clean cut through, slicing his tail off in one clean sweep, or swipe. The limb flew off in a shower of spark, electric odds and a howl of pain. Nice job, Mary said. She ran up to me. I gave her a raised eyebrow in response. She tapped the visor. Combat scanner. You witch! You got my tail! I didn't think someone was heavy about losing his tail. He stumbled away from us, his eyes darting back and forth between two of us and where his tail used to be. Looked down at this detached limb, which was creepily still wriggling around like it was actually alive. That's it. I can't be paying off a job to deal with you two. I'm out of here. I don't think so, Marina smiled. She stood straight, putting her hands above her in typical ninja fashion. Action trigger. Emotional reel. Activate. The lenses on her helmet started rolling different icons. It was hard to see what they were until they stopped. A small boot icon appeared on each one. For as much as she smiled, it almost seemed impossible for it to get any bigger, but she managed. Ooh, you're not gonna like that one. At this, one of her boots started to glow. Soren stopped cold, eyes narrowed in fear. It was like he was scared stiff at what was about to happen. Marina crouched down low before leaping high and forward into the air. She flipped a couple of times before bringing her foot forward. Hyperdrive! As soon as her foot made contact with Soren, he flew for yards. Small explosions darted his armor, creating streaks of sparks that trailed him as he soared through the air. He landed a good distance away from where Marina had launched him. She landed in a neat low crouch, not even bouncing slightly from her landing. Zero, now! It took me a second to figure out what she meant. As soon as I did, though, I brought my swords together. The feeling of the hills locking together and the sound of blades combined was just as exhilarating as usual. I could feel the energy building. The blade of the sea saber glowing brightly when it was ready. Final strike! Judgment slash! The archway of my swing traveled through the air, slicing a path towards Sorian. Just like they did with Armadillo Archon, they collided dead center with Sorian. The wave stuck into his armor, creating huge holes with the arching electricity. He fell over, an explosion going off just as he hit the ground. Marina got up, having kept herself down because she'd actually landed my attack's path, and ran over to me. Nice job. I smiled again. You too. Glad to have a hand to help out. Not as glad as I am to be helping. She started to drag away before I could say anything else. Sorry, but I gotta run. I've got somewhere I need to be right about now. That was fine by me. My smile still existed from when I prepped for my final attack. Alright, thanks for the help. She ran a few more steps before I caught up to her again. See you around, Ibuki. This got her to slip off her feet. Once she regained her balance, she marched right back up to me. The smile she'd had the entire battle was gone, replaced by a deep frown. Once she was in arm's reach, she punched me hard on the shoulder and pushed her visor up over her helmet's forehead. She revealed the upper facial features I was expecting to see. The eyes and nose of my best friend. Thanks for ruining the surprise, you jerk. I almost with the hit, but left a little anyway. Sorry, but it's not my fault you don't know any other moves. That got her smile a bit, and the two of us started to laugh. Even though we were starting to have a good time at the fight, I couldn't help but think about the fact that the exact opposite of what I wanted with her ended up happening anyway. Oh well, if I was going to have a partner in everything hunting, I couldn't think of anyone better than my best friend.